Today is June 23rd, 2022. It is a Thursday, almost the weekend. We're getting there. And yes, this is the same shirt as last time. We call that laziness, folks. You're going to have to deal with it. Sorry. All right, 3 topics today. Risk of Rain 2, therapy, and the new business venture. So, yeah, Risk of Rain 2. I play video games from time to time, not so much as I used to back in the day. I used to play video games all the time when I was a teenager. Definitely addicted to games back then. Started with Nintendo. I'm pretty old school. I'm going to date myself here. Started with Nintendo with Mario Brothers, of course, and then moved on to Sega at some point. I was very much into Sonic the Hedgehog. Hopefully there's some fans out there still. And then really got into first-person shooters for kind of the majority of my game playing experience. Things like Doom, Quake, Unreal Tournament. And then at some point, probably later in my college years, kind of that started to fade away. And games just didn't hold my attention like they used to. So it is rare that I find a game that kind of can sink into and play quite a bit. And that's been Risk of Rain 2 for me. I've been really enjoying it. I am, no pro by any means, so I'm probably not going to be on Twitch or streaming anything live for you guys. Maybe one day, who knows? If you guys really want that, why not? But not really my thing, so we'll see. But Risk of Rain 2, been enjoying it, been having a fun time with it. Just unlocked the Artificer. Hopefully I'm saying that correctly. If not, feel free to correct me. Unlocked that character. Played probably for an hour and just kind of exploring the new powers and abilities that character has. Really enjoying it. Seems to handle bosses super well. So that's been super fun. If you haven't played Risk of Rain 2, highly recommend it. Very cool graphics style, very arcade looking. Very arcade-like looking. There we go, something like that. You'll get it. You'll see it. Look up some videos on YouTube. I'm sure you'll find a bunch of content. It's a super popular game, very fun, highly enjoyable. It does support 4-player co-op, which I'm all about. I love some co-op. I guess I'll hint at something else here. I do play D&D from time to time. So yeah, I'm one of those people. But I guess it's more in fad now, so whatever. It's fine. I don't have to hide anymore. Yeah. Been enjoying it. It's been a good game. It's been fun. It's easy to pick up and put down. There isn't much of a storyline. Like I said, it's sort of arcade-like, so you can kind of just pick it up whenever and play, and that's perfect for me. Like I said, most games don't hold my attention so much anymore, so this is great. Moving on. We're gonna talk about some vulnerable stuff here. We're gonna talk about therapy. So I kind of touched on this in some previous episodes that I'm on a path of self-growth and kind of digging into some of my habits, some of my insecurities, some of the things that I feel like are holding me back. And yes, I do go to therapy, and I explore some of this stuff with my therapist, which is great. And today was a really good session, and I wanted to share that with you folks. In particular, I've been kind of feeling overwhelmed and a little bit stressed out in that a lot of stuff that I'm exploring is definitely coming to the surface, and so I feel like I'm kind of overanalyzing things and I'm overthinking things, and that's definitely been conflicting with my view of and my practice of meditation, where a lot of that stuff is about being aware and kind of letting it go. And I feel like on one hand I've got meditation, on the other hand I've got a lot of this therapy, a lot of this analysis sort of work that I'm doing, and it's conflicting with one another. So I brought that up in therapy, kind of wanted to see what my therapist's take was on that. Drink water first. I gotta drink more water, apparently. I'm always parched when I'm doing this. Okay. Brought that up in my therapy session today, and turns out it's pretty normal. As you start to dig into yourself and you bring a lot of this stuff to the surface, you become more aware of it. Makes sense there. And your brain wants to work on it. So not uncommon, and apparently this is the work, this is the challenge, this is the good stuff that comes with therapy. And I was encouraged to just continue to stick with it. I do a lot of journaling, and so that's been helping. And kind of along the similar path, I felt like when I started doing journaling in the beginning, it was overwhelming. And one, because I'm not really a writer, so I'm not used to doing that kind of work. And two, it felt like a lot of noise. I felt like I was just like dumping a lot of stuff out and not really getting much from it. But I'm starting to see in a very short period of time, it's been probably a month or two since I've been doing the journaling work, that I'm starting to connect some dots. Connecting some stuff in my history, connecting some dots with some of the relationships I've had. And so I think it's been really powerful. It's been challenging, it's been hard, but it's been good. And I can see that this will be beneficial in the future and help me grow. So if people are going through something similar, I encourage you to continue down the challenging path, continue working on yourself. It's super important. It's very valuable. It might seem overwhelming and challenging right now, but just stick with it. It'll get easier. I can feel that. I'm not quite there yet, but I can feel it. I can feel it. It'll be better and easier as time progresses. Last but not least, the new business venture. So I've also hinted at this a few times in some previous episodes, but I am starting a new business venture. It's called The Infinite Loop. It's going to be a mixture of wellness, some of the stuff we talk about here, and technology. So I have a pretty strong technical background. I've been doing software engineering and QA engineering in particular for over 20 years, and I want to take all of that and put it into some coursework and give it back to the public. And in particular, what I want to do, because my expertise is in testability, I want to initially take an existing project, break it apart, refactor, redesign, show that it can be tested, break things into smaller components, show how to test things at different layers. And so I want to wrap all of that up into coursework, make that publicly available, and hopefully start sort of a grassroots movement with developers and allow them to kind of go on their own, look at this work, train on their own, find value in it, and maybe bring this back to their organization and help the organization grow. On the other side of this equation, I want to do seminars, workshops, custom consulting, and I want to tackle that from like an organizational perspective where I'm working with management, senior management, executives, whatever the case may be, and kind of helping them understand this shift that's taking place in software and how to get there. And that there is a better way of making software that can be more cost effective, more efficient, and actually more fun for the individuals doing it. So I'm sort of seeing that there's sort of two sides to this coin, this equation, whatever phrase you want to use. So part of it's going to be very technical, grassroots movement, and the other side is going to be kind of more organizational, more process driven, and kind of bringing those things together. And I believe that's going to be my new business venture, the thing that I want to work on from now on. So with that being said, till next time, peace.